episode of Art on Saturday night on the 999 show. We're going to do watercolor again. This is the sketchbook, and to refresh you, this is what we did last week. And so we got a fresh blank page to work off of. Luckily with this, I don't have to do anything to get the paints out because lo and behold, here they are. We're going to just move these things off and the buttons to push should you be watching this on the replay. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do today. We'll just use the brush that's included with this Van Gogh pocket box. And, oh, look at that. A brush. Okay. So, we have the hi. Yeah, hi. Welcome, Ange. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, but here is, I did another layer on this this afternoon. I was gonna finish it tonight, but I'm gonna get preparing for tomorrow afternoon show. I need to add some more light into this, and when I get done with this painting, I think I might work on this just a little bit and add a little more light in. So we're just going to get moving here. Moving along. Yeah, it is. And I think what I'm going to do now, see, in this painting here, there's a fence line here. This is a fence post, but this is not. This is a printer mistake. But I'm going to put a fence. I can put a fence in, maybe like a wooden fence. But I was thinking about, in trying to make this thing pop, I might put a tree in, like right about here. Now on the, yeah, sort of just kind of make it pop out a little bit, but it needs a lot more light in here. I did add a little light up here. So there, and then I added a thin layer of reflex yellow in here as well. You can kind of almost see it, but it's difficult. And so it just needs to lighten this up a bit, because if we look at it here with the picture and adding a bit more light in it to try to get a better color match. And then a little bit, I'm going to add some more layers of something in this stand of trees here to get it to, they just need to stand out just a little bit more, and that's it. And so anyways, without much further ado, we're going to keep on. I'm going to put a bunch of water in here, and, oh yeah. No, I guess I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do, I was thinking about trying to do a little ocean scene here, a simple ocean scene. And add some water in. So for those who are just lurking in on the sidelines, this here is a Van Gogh pocket box. And so I'm going to take some of this blue. That blue is going to turn green. It better not turn green. Okay. Anyways, we're going to add in. So I'm guessing that with watercolors, you can to make clouds, you got to have some white spaces in there. And so you're just going to use the paper. Well, that's right, I forgot. Yeah, you're supposed to add some water onto the paper first, just to prime the paper. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so now, and you add some water so you can push and move that color around a bit. There we go. Great, thank you for your... There we go. So we're just going to let the we'll let gravity do a little bit of work here. Let the it flow around. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. We add some water onto here and we'll just let gravity work. It's got a lot of water on here to soak in. Okay, all right. You know, yeah, it is. You know, and since we really don't know what I'm doing, and so we can, and with this watercolor block, it's not supposed to soak through to the other side. I'm going to try to leave all the pages intact, so when in about 10 or 20, you know, a couple of months from now, we can go back in and take a look at it. And so coming back in here, we can bring it on here, a little bit heavier body and how it moves on there. Yeah, I've been looking like for my Catholic Bible, but you know, I have other Bibles, but this is the one that has all my notes in it, and I don't know where I put it. It's like these things that I've lost. When I was younger, I never forgot where I put stuff at. But I think what I want to do is show if this is like a beach kind of a scene, maybe water, and there's my hair again. Let's just go put this over here. And I might want to lighten this up a bit, just a tad bit. Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's going to have really any waves, but I really kind of like what's going on here. So I guess what we're going to be doing is we will be doing this one, and then I'm going to just switch gears and go work on that other one. And here, maybe we would just do layers. We put this in here like it was sand. Kind of sandy beach here. Kind of make something kind of inviting. Clouds, and just to see what you can do with damn watercolor. I didn't, you know. So yeah, I was like thinking about things. Really kind of thinking about that whole that TikTok ban's kind of disturbing to me, because it was always thinking like, and wondering if is that really about national security in the United States, or is it about some particular social media companies trying to get rid of their competition? I mean, I didn't really want to talk about that kind of stuff on this channel, but it's kind of bothering me. Let's come over here and take this. Which color? That color was the oh, that's the quinacridone red rose. Yeah, it's just rich people throwing around their power. All right, yeah. And then the thing that what kind of is bothersome is of how many people have made that that platform their livelihood, and then being yeah, it's the same stuff. I know, and it's not like I'm not really I'm just me. I'm not getting into, but what I was just thinking in terms of I think about all them folks that have used that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Anne. And yeah, so Roots and Waves. This is my sister who just popped in, and yeah. So you can't be monetized on TikTok. I wonder if you can be monetized on TikTok in America, but I think people are. But I think it maybe you have to have a yeah. So yeah, that's my sister, and because I've talked a lot about my sister and so forth here. And there we go, kind of the sand. Yeah. And let's go in. And the sand is kind of this yellow ochre color. Yeah, I'm going to be on Tuesday with Tarot Your Way. I'm going to be using the colored pencils that you got me, Anne, and I'll be using that in my coloring tarot session, and probably on Wednesday as well around noon. Tuesdays at 2 and Wednesdays at noon, and Wednesday is with Care Bear Bar the Cards. And let's go use this color over here. Kind of put that in. Maybe just put it straight on the page, so it's kind of right on there. I don't want to put too much more than that, because it's that much more than sand. And then we'll try to make. Well, I have used them. I've used them once so far, and on the day that I did a review of them, and I think I showed you that. I think I gave you a link to that live stream, because I yeah. And let me see. So we're have that, some water there. Oh yeah, yeah. Here's the other painting I've been working on, and I'm like 2 painting sessions into this. So Anne, Jacob's friend that he went to high school with that got really big on TikTok is. Do you know if that channel was monetized? I think I'm gonna make the water. I'm gonna use. I think I might use this color here. And say this here is like ocean water, and it's kind of coming in here like that. And we have kind of a darker color comes in. There it comes in. It's a little bit gray, and then come in here with just the color here. Trying to get a sense of like an ocean scene. So we're working on that. Yeah. I never, like, I've had, this phone that I'm using came with TikTok pre-installed on it, but the very, very first thing I did was uninstall it. And that was the very first thing I did. And let's see here. I don't know how well that looks, but maybe we can come in here and we can layer in some other colors, some darkers. This sense of ocean water coming on there. Got some waves, and so I think what you're supposed to be able to do with watercolor is that you can lift the color right off of there. So you can come in and add some water onto your brush, and then okay, so maybe they get paid through sponsorships and stuff like that. But they're using the TikTok to do that. So I think I might take another brush and come through here and see if I can lift the colors off and texture it so you can think of that maybe this is like a an ocean scene, and that's kind of what we want to do. And maybe it just needs some other colors back in here. Well, you know, it's a nice try. I think we might come back in and let's see what happens. So we come in with some white. Maybe that white just comes on here. It doesn't look like it doesn't really look like very much white here. Is this completely off camera here? It is. I think we need to come back like this. There we go. Through ads and yeah. Huh. Yeah, I wonder if this channel will. Okay, so what she does is she then they send her products and she reviews the products, and then maybe she gets an affiliate link to help pay for that kind of stuff. Maybe that's how that works for affiliates. Yeah. Okay. What happens if I take some of this gray here and kind of bring it in here? Off in the background here, just a little bit of a gray line. It's like the back. There we go. I think that works good like this. All right, I think that's better. I like that actually. Yeah. No, I didn't study. I took art in high school, and I took 2 years of art in high school because it was easy. But there were some things that I couldn't do. The drawing was sketchwork, and drawing was one of the things I couldn't do, and maybe because I don't know. I didn't do very well in drawing. I did a little bit. I think I did a little bit more in college, like at junior college, and because I remember being under 20 years old and having a set of oil pastels that I was messing around with, and I don't know why I had them. I know must have just bought them, but I think I might have taken an art class in college. I know I didn't take one at Linfield when I was at Linfield. I took a lot of music, and my sister was a dancer, and so she kind of like roped me into doing dance and stuff at Linfield, and because she always said that they always needed more men to do it, so I guess that's where I ended up doing that. Yeah, I did take I did take AutoCAD. I remember taking probably uh, at least one term of AutoCAD, and then I did remember doing drafting in high school because I did a lot. It took a couple of years of wood shop, and part of wood shop was drafting by hand, and so I did have that. I did do that. Yeah, I like. But see where Angela, where I kind of got most of this. Yeah, well, maybe. I think in time. I think in time. Yeah. Let's see. We have some white caps here. Come in and take this white and see if we can actually add that into here. It doesn't really. They always say the white is like a completely useless color in watercolors. Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of my McMinnville friends, who was a reporter at the News Register for a long time, and he was an actor, and we were on King Lear together, and I actually had him met, and he bought this painting from me, and and then he showed it to somebody, and they wanted me to go to this place in Salem called The Edge to bring a some of my work with me because they think that my work might be pretty good, and so I'm gonna put some of this white on here just to um, hmm, maybe we need to put some more color in the skyline. Yeah. So so that kind of motivated me to go back and to try to do these wildfire skies. Since we've got that and all these wildfires that are going on in California, and this was this those this was those 2020 wildfires. You remember those, Ann, when lions burnt down to the ground in the San Am? You don't have to mention that. I'm not giving away actually my exact location here, but these were this was how red it was because this is smoke that was from the the fires and the Otis Rose Lodge fires, and so between those two fires, it turned the sky orange like this, and so it did. So this was me on that day that I took that picture like that, and how orange that sky was. And this picture was taken at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon in September, and and the lights were coming on. Outdoor lights were coming on, and because they were triggered by that, and so at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the lights were coming on. And so if you can look at it here, there is a bit of a color match going on, especially with this other one. The color match. I'm letting this thing dry down here right now, just giving it a little dry time. The paper is a little bit saturated with water, so you can kind of see that there. And then if we go and look at now this other painting, and so this one here was before I put the painting on it, and so this is like really much more brighter, like it was a firestorm going on. And so do you remember, if I go into that other painting, I'll bring that out on my tablet. This one is, I'm just letting this thing, the papers dry just a little bit before I start doing any more on it. It's almost ready right now. And so there was this other painting, and I still have that painting too, by the way. I still have that painting. The one that your granddaughter added the touches to it, added those black marks to it. So I had just finished that painting, and I think let's see. I have it I gotta find it in here. And maybe it's here. No, it's not there. Why doesn't it give me all of those images? If I go recent, so no, it's none of those. This this here painting was done. This one here was done by one of our ancestors, who came over on the Mayflower. I can't remember. I think it was William. I think it was William Bradford. William Bradford, one of the. I think that's who it done, and I know it wasn't John Howland, but this was done, and I saw it in a book of a painting that. So this is done in like the 1630s of this, and an oil painting done in the 1630s. And I have that painting on here someplace. No. Large files. No. I don't like the organization of this thing. Why can't it just give me all of the images? It has it in a... God dang it. I don't know. Anyways. I can't find it here. Can't find it readily. Yeah, so anyways. This is dry enough, and let's go on. Let's move on here. And... welcome, Mr. Phillips. All right, that sounds pretty random there. That sounds pretty random to me, so I am going to go with this ultramarine blue here. Let's just see, take a look at that. That sounds pretty random. And maybe we take in this cloud, we'll put some of this. Let's put some of this in here. Yeah, that was pretty random. Hi, Whitecliff, welcome. Welcome. We are trying to do just a watercolor ocean scene here. I'm going to just add some of this color in and move it around a bit. Some clouds, maybe some clouds. Yeah. I'm here with my sisters here in the chat, and as well, it's kind of nice. I think I'll make this more of a darker cloud. Here we got just some different layers, some different. It's not going to be something exact. We're here in imagination land. That's good. All right. My mom is doing pretty well, actually. I mean, and she's doing really well. She's having a really good time, like watching Coach. And we've, in the last 12 months, we've gone through the entire series of Frasier 3 times, and I really like that Frasier. It's one of my but that and like Northern Exposure twice, just to get, and then I saw it popped up in the feed there that Coach came on, and now I'm thinking I've kind of, oh yeah, it is a well written show. The other one, I mean, I couldn't get into the newer one, but I mean, I really like that Frasier. My favorite, those Winnebago episodes are like all my favorite ones, and yeah, it's well written and it's funny, and I was like watching the episodes of Coach this evening, just after dinner and just right before turning the camera on. I'm thinking that interplay between Coach Fox and Luther is just like the interplay between Ralph Crandon and Ed Norton on The Honeymooners. There we go. This is kind of darkening it up there a little bit. And let's just add a little bit more water and see if I can just push this color in and get rid of these hard edges here, so we can get it to bloom out a bit. Yeah. Yeah. I'm but you know what? I also really like Mr. Whitecliffe. I like that Down Periscope is probably like one of my top 10 favorite comedies of all time, and I would have to put in my, yeah, and my number one favorite comedy movie is like Something About Mary. Though I haven't seen it for a few years, but yeah, I'm sure they were. And there's this other movie that I saw. I haven't really actually been in a movie theater since like very early on in 2020. But one of the last movies I saw before COVID was called The Sword of Trust. The Sword of Trust. And I heard that movie was also almost completely ad-libbed as well. And yeah, and so I'm going to just push this color and see if I can get it to bloom out a little bit. Add that water to it and see what kind of a cool effects I can get. So I have a lot of water on here, and so I know that I'm not going to be able to do this for too much longer, or just keep adding on the color here. And so then we'll have to go move on to my Wildfire Skies thing. Yeah. Yeah, and then there's Amos and Andy. Exactly. I have a, all of those Amos and Andys are on YouTube, along with like some of the other old time radio programs. Yeah. So just kind of pushing this color around, trying to get some more abstract effects. I'm going to bring it down. There we go. Layer of the colors. There we go. The shadow, yeah, the shadow. Yeah, that was good. What do you mean by a fire sign theater fan? I am a theater fan, but I um I love live theater. When I was up in Seattle, there was one of the fellows, well, I mean, one of the fellows in my writers group was a professional actor. I mean, he was doing stage theater work. He was doing enough shows throughout the year that he could pay for a condo mortgage in the South Lake Union area. This was, of course, before Amazon put an office in there, so it was much more affordable. But so it wasn't like a $1 million mortgage that he was paying for. It was more. It was less, less than that, and so I wonder if we go and add on fire sign. No, I haven't actually heard of the fire sign theater. No. What do I want to do next? Let's take this color here. Maybe I want to mix it in with some of this. There we go. Makes kind of a lavender color. We'll come in with some of this lavender. Yeah. There we go. No. I'll try to look that up. I'll try to look that up. Let me just write that down. And I'll write that down. Because that way I can so we want to go look up okay, so Nick Danger fire sign theater. Okay. There we go. And yeah, this is fun. Put this in here, this lavender color, just to get some different color effects. Yeah, I bet I will. So what was I doing it with? It was this over here. Yeah, here we go. Much a little lighter, darker. And we'll push this color around. Kind of getting in here, just different layers. Upper right side over here, over here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, we're just doing this is in fact, the third time I've been into this paint set. And it's the third time into the paint set. And we'll come down onto the horizon lines. I think I want to put some of this second over here. Well, it's I came into it last Tuesday, but I did this painting here in 3 different painting sessions, 3 painting sessions. So it's a little bit more than 2 times into this this pocket box here. So trying to have some fluffy clouds, yeah, the lavenders, and just to really play with the colors a bit. And let's put it on camera here, yeah. But, you know, we got some of this here, so we might take some of this lavender and we'll bring it in here onto the beach, and so it brings out some colors here. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. You know what? I think oh shoot, I should have turned my lights on. I completely forgot about my lights. Because I was thinking, now doesn't that look better with the lights on? Gosh, I kind of ruined that because now for the first 40 minutes I didn't have the lights on. Just had the overhead lights. Anywhere between upwards of 2 hours. Yeah. Upwards of 2 hours. I guess I was kind of tired then. I was up really early and fell asleep on the couch. It's never a good thing, but here we come in. Some water coming in like that. Oh, you lose your fine. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I do have difficulty with fine motor skills, which is why I was never really good at drawing. And it's why, whereas, you know, like my father had great fine motor skills, and so he could have done anything, you know, from like being a surgeon to anything like that. And of course, he was like extremely brilliant too. And here we go. Just kind of texture it in there. Actually, that looks pretty cool. No, no, I'm not doing any giveaways, but I don't know, maybe. If I did do any giveaways, it would be, um, it would be giving away, these are things that I, no, my father was self-employed. My father, uh, my father started 2 business. My father, I'll show you some pictures. Let me get those pictures up of files here. You know, not my Kino downloads. Let's see. Is there anything risque? No, there's nothing risque in here. Come on, go me into Facebook pictures. So this is me in my 20s, and this is my dad. Yeah. And my dad was And so he liked cutting wood, and so my father owned and operated a lumber mill. And so this was my dad's mill. And so when I worked in his mill, I worked on the resaw. I worked on the log pond. This is me when I'm like 18, 19 years old. This is me. I was probably like 16 here working on the pond, but I worked in this mill from the time that I was like 14. But my dad wouldn't let me run any of the power saws or anything like any like the saws, the trim saw, the resaw, doing any of that until I was 18. And so this was I have just a few pictures of the mill, S&C Lumber, but it doesn't exist anymore. He owned and operated it from. So this is where my art begins here. At like 12 years old, as doing with a camera, and so it was 1973 or 74 up till about 1996. In 1996, he and his business partner quit, and then after that, my dad went and did something else, and ended up learning how to be a cook, and then he retired when he was like 60, almost 66. And then at age 70, my father and my sister went into business in a home medical company. And then when he was 74 years old, he got killed in a car accident. And so anyway, that's the story. Not seeking any condolences or anything like that. I've mentioned that before. I'm just stating facts. Let's just put a little bit of this white on here to see if it will. Yeah, well, there's different. Oregon is I don't know. I don't know what I have an opinion on that, but I don't really want to. I don't want to say anything. I think that now the Grand Ronde tribes, they are taking when they're in their forest management, they're taking a much longer view to they're taking on a much longer view when it comes to forest management. Whereas I think these Coast Range forests, because the whole entire Coast Range White Cliff is for the most part is privately owned. There's some state properties in there, and there's some federal properties and some county properties. But for the most part, most of it, anywhere, I don't know about south of where you're at Eugene and you go up and over the hill and you end up in Florence. I don't know about those ones down there, but I do know about from like Lincoln City all the way up to Astoria, for the most part, all of the timberlands that are like in the back of Tillamook and going forward, that's all privately yeah, they're all privately owned, and I think that they're like on a 40-year term. I think they're on a I think they're on a 40-year turnover rate. But however, the Confederate tribes of Grand Ronde, they have a huge timber holding, and that they're running on I believe on an 80-year turnover rate. So the people who are starting to manage those forests now, most of those people are going to be passed on before they do their next like cutting of trees. And so it may be, Whitecliff, that maybe we need to follow their lead and run it on a different scale, a different timeline, instead of like 40, 50 years to turning over the forest, to run it a lot longer, like 80 to 100 years. And then that way you get a chance to let some of those trees grow up and be a little bit older, because there's a tree that's right in front of my house that's probably 200 years old. And so that tree is the reason I can't have solar on my property, because it blocks, it's blocking everything. So it's a huge, it's a big impediment. And anyways, that's my opinion on it is that we should continue to cut our forest down. However, I think that we should do it on a longer scale, and let yeah. Anyway, but that's what the Confederate tribes of Grand Ronde are doing. They're running things on a longer timeline, and so I kind of trust. Being that I've had relatives that are tribal, that I kind of trust their judgment on some things. Not everything, but on some things. Anyways, here we go. I think maybe we'll see about doing some more of this color over here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Well, my father, what happened with Dad is that Diamond, he did his they cut alder, but Diamond down in Eugene bought up all the logs, and then my dad couldn't get any logs, and so Diamond would send people out and find out, well, why are they selling logs to S&C, and then they would go hijack when a truck came in there, they would follow them out, and they would go and they would just hijack them, and pretty soon he couldn't get any logs at all. And that's when they decided to quit, because it was like in 19 like in the like the mid 80s all the way through that time, they didn't run full time out of the year. They only got like anywhere between like 3 months to like 6 months of work per year. And anyways, yeah. So my dad actually, my father would have sided with the environmentalists most of those things, and that's where his mind was at. And I'm going to come back in and do a little bit more of this purple, and there we go. Yeah, yeah. Diamond. They were really ruthless, and so he would go around and even like he'd go to other lumber mills in the area and just ask for or other places they just beg and ask for to get, just because the mill was small where they could get by with like 5 loads of log a week, and they would have plenty of money to pay their crew and do all that kinds of stuff. It was just and yeah, anyways, I think I'm done with this one here, and I'm in about an hour. I do have this one. I need to do some. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a back-to-back live stream tonight. And I'm going to stop this one, and I'm going to come back in about a half an hour, and I'm going to do some more work on this painting here. And then I'm going to go, and I probably will do that for like back-to-back. Yeah, back-to-back. And then I have to think about my show for tomorrow afternoon. And I was hoping I could find my New American Bible, which had all my notes in it, but I haven't been able to find it yet. So I'm have to go do a little research, because I have some thoughts on the second coming that I wanted to share, my heretical ideas. And so this is what we got for tonight, and this is a trial watercolor ocean scene, just a playing with the colors. And I will be back in like 30 minutes, 35 minutes roughly. I'm good to do some things for Mom, and then she's getting ready to go to sleep, and I'll do a few things there, and need to clean the kitchen up and do stuff like that. And then I will be back on in like 30 minutes. And we'll see you later. And thank you, White Cliff. Thank you, Anne, for popping in. And thank you, Cartley Shama Arts and Roots and Waves, for moderating for me. And for everyone else who popped in and to say hello for a few minutes. And I will be back in 30 minutes to work on another painting. Bye-bye.